You're listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. The show that gives pastors and church leaders the clarity they need to protect their people, property, and ministry.
Welcome back to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. I'm your host, Ron Wadley with Insurance for Texans. We help church leaders to protect their people and property with wisdom and clarity. In today's episode, we are focusing on a topic that frustrates many church leaders. There are few moments more deflating than thinking a problem is finally solved, only to find out it's not. Jim knows that feeling well. His church in Lubbock had just come through one of the most stressful seasons that many Texas churches are facing right now. They'd been non-renewed by their church insurance company. They spent weeks searching for replacement coverage. They answered underwriting questions, submitted paperwork, and finally received confirmation that a new church insurance policy was in place. Relief. And then a few weeks later, another notice arrived. The church failed the property inspection. Suddenly, the coverage they thought was secured was now at risk. Jim felt blindsided. He had done what he was supposed to do, and now the church was staring down the possibility of cancellation before the policy even had time to breathe. If this has happened to your church, let's slow this down and talk about what a failed inspection really means and what to do next. First, failing a property inspection does not mean your church did something wrong. It usually means the inspector identified risks that the insurance company wants addressed before they're comfortable taking on long-term exposure. Many churches operate out of older buildings. Things that haven't been touched in years can suddenly become a problem when a new carrier is involved. Roof damage from past hailstorms, outdated electrical systems, unmonitored fire alarms, or safety features that no longer meet expectations all tend to surface during inspections. In Jim's case, the inspector found a combination of issues. There was roof damage that had never been fully addressed after a storm, breaker panels that were decades old, and fire alarms that weren't being monitored. None of these were malicious or intentional. They were simply overlooked over time. It's important to remember this. Inspectors are not there to punish churches. Their job is to identify conditions that increase the likelihood of a claim. When those risks are too high, the carrier responds by demanding corrections. So what should you do if your church fails an inspection? The worst thing you can do is panic or ignore it. The first step is to carefully review the inspection report. Not everything listed carries the same urgency. Some items are immediate deal breakers. Others are maintenance issues that can be scheduled and documented. Understanding the difference matters. Next, you need to talk with your church insurance agent. This is not the moment for generic advice or a 1-800 number. You need someone who understands church buildings, Texas carriers, and how inspections are enforced. A good agent will help you prioritize the issues, communicate with the carrier, and create a realistic plan. This is exactly what Jim did. Together, we helped him map out what needed to be fixed right away and what could be addressed over time. We helped him find contractors who understood insurance-driven repairs. And just as importantly, we made sure the insurance company was kept in the loop as repairs were completed. This is a step many churches miss. Fixing the problem isn't enough. You must document the fix and confirm that the carrier has acknowledged it. Silence can be mistaken for inaction, and that's how cancellations happen. Once the work was completed and documentation submitted, the carrier cleared the inspection issues. The policy stayed in force. The church moved forward. Here's the bigger takeaway. A failed inspection isn't the end of the road. It's a warning light. It's the insurance company saying, if something happens here, the loss could be severe. Addressing those issues doesn't just protect your coverage. It protects your people, your building, and your church's mission. This is why we say church insurance today requires active leadership, not autopilot. If your church has recently failed an inspection, received a correction notice, or you're worried about what an inspection might uncover, now is the time to act. Connect with one of our church insurance agents by going to insurancefortexans.com. And if you want a clearer, steadier framework for managing risk as a church leader, especially in unpredictable times, pick up our book, The Promise of Certainty, at thepromiseofcertainty.com. I'm Ron Wadley, and this has been another episode of Faith Stewardship and Insurance, Protecting Texas Churches. Until next time, remember, failing a church insurance inspection today can pave the way to a safer church for tomorrow.
Thanks for listening to Faith, Stewardship, and Insurance. Until next time, remember, insurance isn't just about policies. It's about safeguarding the mission God has called you to lead.